Hello, everyone. My name is Zanyah Williams, and I am an environmental health PhD student and BU Urban Fellow. This summer, I interned with ROCA, a violence intervention and behavioral health nonprofit organization located in Chelsea, Massachusetts, that works with young people through Rewire CBT programming, which is a skills-based cognitive behavioral therapy approach. And so for this summer, my project is titled Toxic Environments, Interrupted Reentry, Assessing Environmental Health Burdens in High-Risk Youth. So at the center of this project is a simple question. What happens when we understand incarceration and reentry not only as a criminal justice issue, but also as an environmental health issue, shaping how young people move through urban space? So the problem I focus on is that youth returning from incarceration often re-enter unstable and heavily policed communities with limited resources, making re-entry harder and deepening environmental health inequities. In more practical terms, that can mean exposure to neighborhood violence, chronic stress, unstable housing, and weaker access to the conditions that support health and safety. What became important to me during this internship is that there are not separate issues. Reentry is shaped by the environments young people return to, and those environments are already structured by disinvestment, surveillance, and unequal access to care and opportunity. And so while at ROCA, I participated in the transitional employment program, development days, and Rewire CBT programming. And I also served as a co-keeper of a roundtable circle with youth from ROCA, UTEC, and LISOA, as you can see in the picture previously. Those experiences helped me build community-centered relationships and better understand how young people describe safety, instability, and opportunity in their own words. I also joined the Raise the Age lobbying efforts, which support gradually expanding juvenile jurisdiction to include 18 to 20-year-olds, as well as contributed to testimony and communication materials. And so my deliverables included the ROCA Cost Less Than Corrections one-pager, ROCA newsletters, a written testimony for alleviating poverty bill, and a conceptual framework linking incarceration and environmental burden. So this slide shows that conceptual framework. The main idea here is that incarceration does not begin or end at the prison door. Instead, it sits within a larger pipeline of structural conditions like racialized disinvestment and segregation and how that shapes environmental racism. And so those conditions then overlap with criminalization and policing, and together they produce cumulative environmental and social harm. The bottom of this figure, where ROCA would sit, points toward resistance and reform. That part matters because it shows that this cycle is not inevitable. Community organizing, environmental justice work, and policy interventions can interrupt these harms and reframe youth justice as a question of health, safety, and investment rather than punishment alone. And so overall, this internship helped me connect qualitative relationship building, public communication, and policy advocacy through an environmental justice lens. It pushed me to think more clearly about incarceration as an environmental burden and about reentry as a public health issue in urban communities. And so for my acknowledgments, I would like to thank Tess, my supervisor at ROCA, Katie at Innovate at BU, and Emily from BU Urban for their guidance and support through this experience. Thank you.